Yeah.
Hey, Thomas, how you doing?
You're such a trooper. I can't. You're in the pre-show with no voice or anything, and you
I had to
insisted
be
on doing
here.
this.
I had to be here for you, man. I couldn't leave you hanging. Sorry.
I appreciate it. I know you wanted to stay in bed, but I was like, we got to do the show, please.
You're a tough partner. Really, you demand the most, and nothing but the best from me. So thank you. And I'm actually feeling much better than that. If I really felt like that, I would not be here.
I would hope not.
But
And I, for the record, would not beg you to.
no. You gave me like 5 chances to be like, "Are you sure you want to do this?" So,
I did. He said, I feel much, much better. You ready for the show tonight? I said, I'm all for it. Are you sure you don't want to just stay rested, get to 100%? And then I didn't hear from you for a little bit. So I thought, oh, I bet he fell back asleep. So now
do you know what I was doing?
I don't know.
I was buying a rug for the Airbnb,
Of course.
and my phone was currently in my wife's hands because she was using the light on the rug to see just how it looked, and so all the messages were getting ignored because we were just matching colors.
Inch that way, forward, backwards, lay down. Did you get the rug? Is it done?
We have the rug. It was a nice 8x10 because
Okay.
it's got a big space there in front of the couch, between the couch and the TV, and I like it. I really like it. It works with the couch, works with the walls, works with the curtains. We found the perfect rug, the one with everything. So
There's something to be said about a good rug. And I need to address this right away because it's gonna come out. So of all people,
what is
there
on
we
your
go.
shirt?
There we go. Red pen, nailed it. So of all people, Scott, you know how much we love to decorate over the top. You get my stupid videos and pictures, and I see them. You leave me on red after I send them, and so I know how to take that. So during the holiday season, I always get a few of these, and so it says "Gangsta Rappa" with a little Christmas gift of wrapping, rapper with a W, Gangsta Rappa. So that's what it is. I'll have a new one tomorrow. I'll have a new one next Thursday as well. So I'll do it. I know I know this time of year it's premature for some for Christmas. I totally understand that. I get it. We just are over the top. We love it. So we just go full blast and take the heat that we get for doing it. So
And I will offset your exuberance.
I figured it's a balancing act.
At least till after Thanksgiving. After Thanksgiving, we'll, I mean, my kids, honestly, they actually got out the Christmas box, the Christmas tree, lights. They wanted to hang a wreath on the door. I'm like, nope.
Oh no, Scrooge!
I'm like, don't, little Timmy, you put that wreath back in the box. No, it's could not. I can't. My neighbors have a big inflatable turkey. The same ones who have all the Halloween stuff. They've got all their inflatable Thanksgiving stuff.
Yeah.
And I don't remember even what it is. I think they've got like a couple pilgrims and a turkey, and they chase each other around the yard or something like that. But it's yeah, we can't do Christmas before the neighbors do Christmas. And they're going to wish that we did a lot better.
Fair enough. No, we're done. We're done decorating. We've got everything up and out, and it's there. But I'll tell you what, something has changed this season because we took down our Halloween decoration. I say we, Mrs. Wedwatch did, the next day after Halloween. I looked out my window here that some of the audience has seen, and she was down there with the crates and taking everything, putting it down. Done. The next day I'm working and I hear some commotion and I'm looking around and I look out and up is going the Christmas stuff. And then she said, hey, lights, they're going up in 3 days and da, da, da. 3 neighbors across the street already had lights up and lit before we did. And we did it earlier this year, earlier than most.
This is the problem. It's a competition.
No, because they just did the basic lights. You've seen our setup, right? We've got an 8-foot.
The first one to get the lights up, that's bragging rights. That's like, hey, I'm already done, is what they're saying. Like, look at me, I'm already done. What they don't know is I'm already done too.
So there's a company in a link I found that is so perfect for you. They come in and they install, I think we talked about it on a previous show, but I'm going to mention it again. They install the LED lights under your soffits and you can change the colors per the season. And they're hidden, so you can't see them.
Right?
Yeah, they just stay there. So when there's no holiday season, you can't see them. You don't even know they're there. When it's holidays, you just little remote, boop, boop, boop. So you could win. Well, you do win every time because you don't do anything. But if you wanted
Right.
to do something, you could.
Actually, while we were at Lowe's, we saw the Christmas display because they have all Christmas stuff up.
Mhm.
They had those lights. I think they're permanent Christmas lights, and it's like $300 for 100 lights. I don't know if it's 100 feet or just 100 lights,
That's
but but
crazy
they're
expensive.
big old LEDs. I mean, they're huge. I
Oh,
mean, it's almost like spotlights. In the pictures, it looks like the house is like NASA taking off, the lift off type thing. It's
right.
I could do that, but
It's
except
yeah,
for the price.
yeah.
Like, that's a lot for lights.
The
I'm like
decorations.
$6 a strand. That's usually what I like to pay for
Yeah,
for my lights.
it's insane. I remember exactly what you said. I walked in, I don't know, just pre-Halloween looking for some stuff in Lowe's, and there always all of the Christmas stuff everywhere. It wasn't even Halloween yet. And looking at the prices for, like a 6-foot inflatable that used to be 49.99, it's 89.99 for one of those. I mean, it's crazy. And we don't do much for the inflatables. The missus is crazy artistic and talented. So she has taken 6x4 sheets of plywood and carved out nutcrackers and little things. And then she can paint like crazy. So everything's 3D painted. And so everyone, they come over and they look at it and they think that we paid a lot of money and bought all these things. Nope, she made them herself. And I don't know how she does it. They are incredible. She's so talented. Uh, you've seen my stick figures before. That's about all I got. But
That's
she's
that's one stick figure more than I can do.
yeah. So, but it's a lot of fun. We enjoy it. It's funny. I watch the cars drive by while I'm working in the day, especially in the evening. Now it's darker later, and the cars come up and they slow way down and sit in front of the house, which I'm like Mr. King neighborhood watch guy. So I'm
Mhm.
always, what are they doing? And then I always have to realize, oh yeah, it's all the crazy lawn art we've got going on out there. But it's just we love it. It's so much fun. So
That's cool. I'm impressed. I still won't join you though. You
I
you
think
try every single week. You try to do a little bit more. Try to tease me into like, hey, you too, as a homeowner, could take part in the neighborhood tradition of decorating and contribute to the neighborhood festivities. But no, I feel no guilt. As a matter of fact, I actually feel a little bit of glee in not decorating. Like that brings me some Christmas cheer.
I completely get that. For those of you in chat, that what he's kind of talking about is every time we add a little something, I send him a new video. It's almost the same as the last one. There's just one new piece, and he reads it because his read receipt's on. He does not reply ever to it because every other text that we have conversations about the show or the channel responses. Nope. When it comes to decorations, he reads them, does not respond. So I know what he's doing. It's
I'm,
hilarious.
I will say I'm actually tempted to put lights on our Airbnb, which is it's
Oh,
finally the door is finally painted. It looks like this.
yes, I love it. Oh, you guys did so
That's
well.
that's the outside.
You should do
But
lights.
I'm thinking a little strand of lights along the top might
Yeah.
be good. But we had our inspection today. We failed.
Was it
Little
something minor?
It's something that we passed on before.
What?
Yeah.
So you had a
So
grumpy inspector today?
we had the final inspection. You get like all along the way. You've got the plumbing, you've got the water, the gas, they inspected everything. We had them over a million times. And what if the inspections was electrical?
Right.
And they passed us on electrical. And then this time, and once we're passed, then we put up all the tile and everything, the backsplash in the kitchen, and they're like, oh, see that spot where you put up all that nice tile? You need another electrical outlet right there with a GFI.
Oh.
So I've got to
Oh,
run 14 gauge up through the wall, cut through cabinets,
yeah.
tile up and around, and the funny thing is, we're like, look, we found a way around it. We're gonna mount something underneath the counter, the cupboard,
Mhm.
and run it up between the gap between the two cupboards, so we don't have to cut the cupboards. Run it on top of the cupboards over through the wall, and then we'll have to patch a hole because we have to drill up and over and into the panel box and everything. But as soon as it's done, we're going to pull it back out because it doesn't look good. But
Just go on Amazon order one of those fake faceplate GFIs because they make them and just stick it on there.
This guy tests every single outlet. He like
Oh,
sticks his little
he did.
tools in there and pushes
Okay.
buttons.
Dang
Although
it.
he went to one of the outlets that had like the USB plugs,
Yeah.
and he tested it. He's like, "Yeah, this is a good GFI." I'm like, "No, that's not a GFI. That's just a regular outlet
USB.
with a USB. That's all it is. Just because it has little buttons there." Anyway, I digress.
Oh, an inspector that didn't fully know what he was doing? Shocker.
So early next week, we're gonna have the final go ahead.
Cool.
But
And is that still a pretty heavy business from what you can tell right now? Traveling nurses in your area, it's still a big draw and it's needed. So you think you'll
yes, my partner just rented his out for a year contract.
really?
There's huge demand, and he's like half an hour away from the city.
Oh, wow.
So it's pretty good.
So yours is going to just boom because you're closer, right?
Fingers crossed.
Mm-hmm.
We're hoping. So it'll be good. We're actually going to live in it for like a week just to make sure everything's working. So we're going to go out there, use everything, make sure nothing's leaking, make sure everything works, make sure there's no little things that you'd only find out if you actually stayed the night in the place. But
see if your internet cuts out or something goofy happens. But
I finally got the internet wired. So it's going to be 2 gig, not wireless.
That's phenomenal. They're going to be spoiled.
We try to do it the best we can. Now our house in comparison is not any of the things that are out there. My house, I'm still like trying to get the air to not blow through the windows and things like that. But
you're going to live in it for a week to test it, and then you're not going to leave.
Yeah, we're to stay here
the main
and then
house.
renovate the main house.
That's awesome. Well, if you don't book it for a full year or for whatever time, you know you're going to get. You can charge Mrs. Weatherwatch and I for a weekend at least to get out of it. So we can
be awesome.
2 sheets of sheetrock will go back to your bank account at least after a weekend stay.
That's awesome. Yeah. Sorry, I don't know why we got on the Airbnb. I should talk less because my voice is going. I can already feel it.
It actually works. So it's funny you talk about the inspection, electrical, everything else, and plumbing. We've got a really funny story about a fully functional golden toilet being stolen. Yeah, so an Italian artist made a golden toilet, and it's named America. It has a name, and he gave it
Italian, and he named it America.
Well, so there's a story to it that's kind of depending. We'll let people take it how they take it, but then he donated it to a museum in New York. The reason behind the naming is because it's to insinuate, take a toilet and take gold, you put them together, and that was kind of the view on how America is financially, what they do with their money, and how America operates, right? So it was a dagger.
We flush it down the toilet.
Yeah, there you go. Bingo. That was the whole thing behind it. So it ends up, I don't remember, I don't have it in front of me, but it ends up going to like the Pope and being fully plumbed because it was a functioning toilet.
Everyone's like, I think the Pope would like this. Gold would be cold. I mean, is it like heated seats and everything?
It didn't say anything.
It'll be a little chilly.
Yeah,
in the in Italian winter morning.
So then it goes missing, and the detectives trying to find this said stolen American gold toilet or Toilet America. They find a 66-year-old man. I think they think are responsible, but they end up can't tie him to it. Years down the road, 4 years later, they find 4 gentlemen in their late 30s responsible for this act. But because it was fully plumbed and they stole it, it created all this flooding and damage in the house as well. So it's like theft,
so the charges,
property damage. Oh, it just stacked on top.
Would they be like commodious criminals? What would the word for what's the name of a criminal that steals plumbing, especially toilets?
I had the music soundbite pinned up over here for that joke, and I was on the wrong page. I couldn't get it. I don't know. It's a real crappy situation, but they figured it out. So it's America the toilet was stolen, and it was.
Well, they've got the 70-year-old, and then the 4. It's almost a royal flush. The 5 of them. So.
Oh, that's so great. So the the toilet was never recovered because they feel it's been demolished and was turned into get gold cashed out. So
Oh
the
my goodness.
America the toilet is at some pawn shop somewhere in pieces. But uh, gentlemen bidet, be fine. Well said, Greeners. Well played. Look at we find a way to get dad jokes strung in here, even from news stories. Oh,
That is, yeah. I was actually, I'm a little picky with like toilets. I want it's a throne, right? Think of all the chairs. I spend most of my time in this chair. Of
which
all
by the
the
way,
other chairs or places to sit,
everyone thinks there's a toilet mounted underneath that chair.
I'll have to do it behind the scenes and show you how
No,
plumbed.
no, we're okay.
No, it's
No,
not plumbed.
no, we're good.
I need like a flush sound that I can hit occasionally. That would be great.
I think you do.
Oh,
Yes.
no,
Oh,
yeah, I like quality. You know, if I'm gonna have, you know, an item of necessity, I'd like it to be comfortable. But I don't think I'd go with gold. I'm more for function and feel, I guess. And gold doesn't rake up there for me on those.
no, I'm not putting gold somewhere where it's an in and out situation. That's not where gold's going to be if I have the gold to put there. But um, anyways, the thought behind it and him mocking America was kind of funny by making a gold toilet. So and then it gets stolen and demolished. So that's also funny as well. But
Man, what
there's so
the
many thieves. It's
crazy thieves that do stupid things. I mean, of all the things, if it's not something you can just put up on Facebook and be like, "Hey, I'm selling this toilet that I don't need anymore. It happens to be gold." You know, that
right.
there's like the red flag, right? Where are you going to fence this thing where everyone's like, "Yeah, I think I can move that."
Slightly
No,
used like new. Just like
may have been used by the Pope.
yeah,
Please ignore the fact that they're looking for this very thing. Yeah, criminals sometimes they don't think through like exactly. I mean, as the crime comes to them, it's like, hey, this is a good idea in the moment. But as if you were to stop and play this, 2-3 moves down the road, what's going to happen?
yeah, they don't play chess, right? Ever.
There's a guy in Arizona that had a similar type move.
Stole a toilet.
No, he just didn't think it through as well as he should have. Arizona man accused of stealing ambulance
Oh, perfect.
with firefighters and patient inside.
Oh, even more perfect. Home run hitter.
Okay,
What a guy.
and the only other thing that's worse to steal than an ambulance is a school bus. Okay, they're
Yes.
very very visible. They have tracking equipment built inside.
Yep.
So literally computers can see exactly where they are at any time. So
Right.
you've stolen something that's constantly beaming your location to the police,
Yeah.
and then you steal it with a crew of firefighters or paramedics and a patient inside. Didn't go well for him. He made it a short distance, and then and tried to run and ended up facing not just the theft charges for the car, but also the kidnapping charges
Brilliant.
for each of the people that were in the ambulance when he took it. So
Again, not a chess player.
he won't be driving a car for a long time.
No, not at all. That's that's funny. Debbie Jo always says, "What was a cop car not available?" Because that's what steal one of those. I'd be a little better off. It's too funny.
Well, the ambulance is always left running, right?
Right.
They just idle it.
Yep.
Because they need to run all the gear and keep everything charged and be ready to go in a moment's notice.
100%.
Have you ever committed a stupid crime? Did I tell you about my golf course crime?
What?
Not proud of this. But I may have committed vandalism on a golf course as a teenager.
Did you carve their landscape on a golf course?
No.
Oh, okay.
I had never been on a golf course before.
Oh, okay.
And so just sneaking on in the middle of the night, it was like a thrill. I'm like, hey, check this out. This is awesome. We're running around on the greens. And of course, we're looking for balls to throw and things like that. And you can't find them in the dark. You can't find them during the day. I mean, they're impossible to find.
Right.
And the flag on the greens. They're like springy.
Oh, they left them out at night.
And we were doing the springy thing. And I tell you this because the statute of limitations has run out. But we were doing the springy thing, and you could bend the flag over and let go, and it goes twang, and it was pretty cool. It may have been pushed too far, and the wrong end came up and went twang, and the hole was in the air, and the cup was in the air, and the flag was on the ground. And I probably need to send him some money. But since that moment, I've watched how they fix holes on the green, and I know they can fix it pretty easily.
I was going to say that's probably the least vandalism you can do on a golf course, because depending how they operate, they cut new cups every morning on the greens. So likely they came in, cut the cup you damaged anyways, and did a new one. No real harm done, but
I still felt bad. I still do a little bit.
As you should, coming from a golf course. It's anyone that. So we had to pull our flags every single night and tee markers, because people would come and steal them and run away with them, or just take them. And the course is built around a pretty big. It's like a river ish. It's called a creek,
but it's a moat.
But it's huge. Yeah,
it's a moat, right?
People would come and pick them up and just chuck them down the cliff into the water just to be numbskulls. And so we had to take them all the time. It was a bummer. But so funny you say that. Long before my golf days, I lived very close to a golf course, and we would go fish in the little ponds on the golf course. We thought it was innocent, right? And they're full of carp and everything. So you just get a little chunk of bread, put on a hook, and just throw it in there, and you catch fish every time. Until that community had little security guards, little tiny trucks, and they would drive around on the cart paths of the golf course and watch.
Just to keep kids from fishing?
And for whatever else, I guess. But so we got in trouble the first time and went, okay, now that's wrong. We're not allowed to do this. So what did we do? Got more bread and more hooks. And
go back at night.
Yeah. So we went back at night. And then they had little spotlights like cop cars would have, what they call little alley lights. And we made it a game to get ourselves seen, and then we would just take off running across the golf course, because they can't drive all through the course because they would damage it. And so we would run, and then we would like dive into a bunker and lay down flat and just wait for them to drive around us. We would basically hide to see how close we could get them to us without finding us. Just young, dumb ding dongs, but we didn't vandalize anything. We just,
and that, my friends, is how Thomas got his rap sheet. And so
yes. that's it.
The beginning of the gangster rapper.
Yeah. It's funny how life goes full circle, because then I end up in charge of a golf course and running these people off and protecting from little me's. This is how life works.
You're the one hammering the sign, no fishing.
Yes. Oh, the lessons,
liability and everything. Yeah, I understand.
But so jumping ahead, you got caught. You just had to mute because your cough was catching up to you. We're going to dive into a top 3. No. Is that unopened? It better be.
It's the same one.
Okay. Dr. Corcoran said no.
It's invisible. But
kind of.
I have not drunk it since the doctor said no.
He said don't do it. So speaking of the devil, top 3.
Okay.
Top 3, and chat's going to go bonkers with this. This is going to be fantastic. Top 3 home remedies. Now, these remedies don't have to be strictly for flu or cold. It can be things you found out to solve other issues. For example, I'll give it away. One of my 3 is going to be how to cure hiccups. So it can be kind of a variety. But I figured it was fitting, since I just like to pick on you and you don't feel well. So let's just go this route.
All right. And do I have to try any of these if they particularly apply to my current condition? Is that part of the deal?
I wouldn't say have to, because who knows what we're going to see in chat from this. But if one sounds appealing,
they're starting already.
Yeah, so
we've got top 3 home remedies. I'm just going to look through chat first. We've got Vicks Vapor Rub, baking soda. Baking soda fixes almost everything.
Vinegar.
Vicks on your feet with socks on.
Okay, that freaks me out.
Honey and garlic paste. Is this something you eat or wear? Greeners.
I hope you eat, because if you wear it, that's going to smell on a
A
shot
shot
of
of apple cider vinegar for heartburn. It's got to be with the mother, right? Like the
Mm.
original, like the with the good stuff in it.
Has to be with the earth.
Just straight up Tabasco shots. What doesn't kill you makes you stronger.
Yeah.
Says Tool Bus.
Income six.
Whoa, what's this one? Ice cube in hand for headaches. Kenny, I've never even heard this. Is it? I'm guessing that if your hands hurt bad enough, you forget that your head does. Is that?
That's where my mind went.
I've never even
So,
thought of that. I know. Okay, I'll let you. Do you want to start? Because I've got a couple.
all right, my number 3,
Mhm.
Jersey Gin. Cure hiccups by drinking upside down. I've tried a million remedies. This is my go-to. It's gone every time, and it can be confusing. So if you take, it's harder. It's easier with a glass of water than a bottle.
Mhm.
But you open it up. You put your mouth on. You typically drink this side, right? You put it on the far side, and then you tip yourself as upside down as you can go, and you take 3, 4, or 5 gulps.
I believe everyone in this chat is asking for a demonstration. Is this is this something you can do for us?
I'm not seeing any. I'm not seeing any of those in the chat. No, fall over on my face.
I've heard that, but I've never been able to get the mechanics of it down.
It works
It's all
amazing.
it always just ends up with like soaking me or going up my nose or something.
So it's
Um,
so you would drink from your normal. Instead, you go here and then
There it goes.
yeah.
Oh,
And take 3 or 4 good gulps and gone. I have never. Well, I hate double negatives, but it has never not worked for me.
the one that works for me for the hiccups. So this isn't one of my 3 though. Take a full breath.
Yeah.
Full breath. And then like take 3 more without breathing out. Like really inflate the lungs. So there's nowhere else for air to go. You're ready to pop. And at that point, if you did hiccup, you would just die. You would just cease to exist. You would explode. And at that point, your body's like, never mind. I'm not into it that much. And they just go away.
What if my body doesn't override that signal? So I don't know if I'm going to
It
try it.
can't. It can't. You would die. I don't think you can live through hiccuping when you have this much air in your body. I mean, it's like it's huge. It's like when you know when you blow up a balloon and you like blow it up to that point where it's like if there's one little tiny like a match head size worth more air in there, it's just going to pop.
Yeah.
There's nothing else that can fit. That's where you have to be lung wise, and then the hiccups are gone. Plus, it hurts so bad. You just your lungs just your chest hurts. The last thing you want to do is hiccup.
I was going to say that sounds uncomfortable. Krista says, or peanut butter for hiccups. I've never tried that one. There's so many good ones.
Okay, so my number 3
Yeah.
would be for you know what a brain freeze is? You call them a brain freeze when you have like too much cold stuff and your head's just like splitting headache. Some people don't get them. My wife never knows. She thinks we're joking, but she can eat cold stuff and it doesn't phase her. Take your finger, put it on the roof of your mouth, like you're sucking your thumb, but it fixes it. It's gone.
Press it up there.
Yeah,
Don't
just press your finger on the top of your mouth.
So I believe that, and I learned why brain freezes occur and what happens. Because do you remember a couple of months ago when I had my heat stroke that occurred? So my doctor talked me through it and kind of why that happens and whatnot. So your brainstem towards the back of your throat is like millimeters away from the top of your mouth. So anything you ingest temperature wise, it affects your brain temperature by just a mere bit. So when we take in something that is so cold, because it's so close to the top of your mouth, it's triggering your brainstem. It's getting that temperature.
It's literally a brain freeze. You're literally freezing your brain.
So the warmth of your thumb and putting it back there, it's able to bring it back down. Same way when you get overheated by drinking something cooler and getting in there, it actually, and your brain is so sensitive. We're talking a half a degree in temperature in certain directions triggers a situation in your brain. And so that makes sense why Mrs. RA put the thumb up there. There's a little bit of heat and it's taking away some of that cold because your brainstem is like that close to the roof of your mouth. So I get it. That's a good one. I rub my tongue on the top of my mouth when I get one. I'm going to try the thumb next time.
You know what happens? The only downside is you now have a handful of ice cream when you do that because so generally you've got like half the ice cream and they're like, oh, I hurt. Yeah, so it ends up being messy, but it works.
Fair. All right, that's your number 3. My number 2, I had them in my head. I've already forgotten. One of them is when I don't feel well, whether it's cold or flu, whatever it might be, I drink in a copious amount of lemon water and just try to completely flush my system. Like the most. Is that what you've got right there?
It's hot. It's hot lemon. It's got lemon, orange juice, a little bit of almond extract in it.
Love
I
it.
think some cloves, eye of newt. I don't know what else. It's like a full witch's brew in here.
Fair enough. Fair. So mine's just straight lemon water, and it's I'll mix it in one of these, and I will literally try to drink like 15 of these a day while I'm sick, and just completely wipe the system. And it seems to really shorten the length of whatever it is that I have. Works for me. Now, heartburn ends up a real booger a few days after that, but it gets rid of whatever else I've got.
Tum 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 tum.
Yeah, absolutely. But
Yeah,
that's my number 2.
okay. That's a good one. When you're eating, this isn't really like a health remedy, but when you're eating and you're chomped down on something and you just take a bite out of your cheek,
Yes. Oh,
okay,
yes.
hate it.
Yes.
First of all, it ruins a good mouthful of food, and second of all, it hurts so bad. It hurts so bad, and it doesn't go away. I mean, it's like it takes forever. I have developed a superhuman power. I can mentally think it away. I don't, I'm not joking here. No fingers crossed. I can literally just use my mind to stop the pain from coming from there, and then it just is gone.
They say pain is mental.
I guess it's like hypnosis, self-hypnosis or something.
That's interesting. Can you think the pain away, like if you stub your toe, or does it only work for the cheek?
It helps also to say a few words with that.
Spout out a few tree carvings.
I've never tried to think the pain away. It's always just been when I bite my cheek or something that's just like, yeah.
Interesting.
To make it go away.
Oh, Miranda Lee says, thanks, member for 5 months of the channel. Awesome support. She says,
Thank you, Miranda.
Great coverage, quality content, and consistent kindness. Love the channel. Miranda, thank you. And that's because of people like you and the others in chat, as far as the.
And she's got a pooch in her profile picture.
Oh, sure not.
A cute one.
Smiling pooch, too. I'm going to try that one because everyone bites their cheek on occasion. So why not give it a shot? Of course, Adam.
Too soon. Too soon.
So my number 1, and this is when I'm not feeling well. I don't think this necessarily cures anything or helps me get over it, but I think it subdues symptoms and it gives me comfort. And I think we actually had a little conversation in mod chat earlier today about this, but I love to heat up chicken broth in a mug and get it as piping hot as I can, and then cut a couple jalapenos in half and just dunk them in there, and then sip on maybe 3 or 4 glasses of that or cups of that for the first half of my day. And it just seems to keep me really comfortable and at ease. And it's my favorite. When I'm not feeling great, that's what my go-to will be in the morning. I love it.
Have you thought of adding self-flagellation to that routine? You're what is this for? You're just spicy. You're burning.
Yeah, like if I don't feel well. So say in the mornings, I say I'm fighting a cold or a flu. In the mornings, I'm still going to have to work and do things. It just brings comfort to me. I don't feel as bad. My symptoms seem to kind of suppress just a hair, but it's the hottest chicken breath I can get with a couple chopped jalapenos in it. And man, and it tastes amazing. And it makes me feel better.
I've never tried. I'll have to try that because I like a little spice, but it's first thing in the morning. I'm not sure if I'm ready for that. That sounds like a recipe for heartburn.
Wakes you right
for later on, but
you're ready to go.
I'm not sure. I'm thinking about what my number 1 would be. Man, I'm tempted to go with Mary Poppins. Just a spoonful of sugar helps the medicine go down. But
I've never done it.
Let's see. Give me a minute here.
I don't have. I don't have the Jeopardy song, but I've got this.
Okay, I'll do this. Headaches. caffeine works. Caffeine solves headaches.
That's fair.
It causes a million other problems, and the weight gain and everything else from all the sugar is, something you'll have to deal with later. But the caffeine, it fixes a headache.
It's all about now. It's not about later. So I can't do much for caffeine myself because I have a weird the heart thing that's, I don't know, it's like 26 letters long, that it's just beats like crazy. And so if I do caffeine occasionally, but I have to already be awake, I have to be hydrated, and I have to have some food in my system, and I can do a little bit. But it's like people that wake up in the morning and they brew their cup of Joe and that's how they start the day. No way. It almost tell me the new Mountain Dew Invisible. They should make that a thing.
It's very green. It's very green. Just
There
just
it
looks
is.
that way when it's over here. So,
It'll
no
just-
calories in this one because it's invisible.
Yeah, you're right. Sold.
So technically, the doctors would be okay with that, I think.
Right. So red pen, it's not tachycardia. That's what a lot of people always think when I say that, but I'm not kidding you when I say it's like 26 letters long. The doctor explained the difference between tachycardia and mine, and it's not that. It's, if I understand correctly, if I remember, it's less serious than that, but it's still something that I just have to monitor a little bit, be careful with, but not quite as much.
Apparently, Adam's saying that it's the fact that I haven't had any caffeine that causes my headache. so it's like a catch-22.
Yeah.
Where in that loop have I fallen? But
Right. Polly Percy Pants, $5. Keep up the great work and do the do with his new hairdo. So
actually, I once filmed a TV show for Maverick Country Stores. They did one summer, like it's a gas station, right? It's like, imagine like Buc-ee's, but this very, very small version. So they have like 4 pumps out front.
it's like
what they are.
Little buck.
But they market themselves as like the place to go before you go out. And it's a gas stations over in Western United States. And they market themselves as this is the place you stop. Adventure's first stop is Maverick. And so they had this huge push where they said, tell us what your dream is, your dream adventure. And we're going to pick random people and we're going to take them on the dream adventure. If they want to go, skydiving or, in the rock crawlers or race cars and things like that. And then they also did a TV show with little episodes that, and they called me up and had me be a cameraman for that. And that was a lot of fun. But Mountain Dew was a sponsor. It was one of the sponsors on that. So I think somewhere I've got a Maverick Adventures First Stop shirt with Mountain Dew logo on somewhere on it. I don't remember.
I love it.
Pretty sure they gave me a size that didn't fit, but kept it anyway. So.
Do they have like a country store type feel, or are they?
I think they are a country store. I mean, you've got like half a dozen donuts in there at any given time, and they're made fresh that week, and then
that week.
And then you also have some corn dogs that are also cooked, once a week and left on the spit, and you go on the whole time. You can get sort of everything. They've got a lot of drinks and candy and snacks and gas, and that's about it. So you fill up the truck and the 4-wheelers and grab something to eat on the way there.
A little old corn dog. I'm not gonna lie, they're kind of better to me. I kind of like them that way. Little dried out. It's up my alley. I'll take it. But yeah,
like living on the edge.
Well, I'm a gangster rapper, so
we like corn dogs in this family. We actually just went to Sam's Club and bought 2 big boxes of Sam's Club. I think that was on Wednesday, and they're like 30 of those State Fair brand individually wrapped corn dogs in each one. I think we're down to like 3 left.
Oh, just right down the hatch.
Because the kids just like they're gone. I mean, just chomp. I think a couple got fed to the cat. And I was not there when that happened, but
because you would have protected your cat from human food like that.
Yeah.
And
I'm not a big fan of it.
And you answer to your cat as well.
Yeah.
Have you seen Grand's that makes cinnamon rolls, other doughs, croissants, everything else? They have corn dog dough.
Corn dog dough?
Yes, and it's amazing. I just found it. Oh my goodness. Maybe 2 months ago, we were doing a little pool party with the neighbors. I found it and saw it, made it for their kids. You get regular hot dogs, you get their dough, and you bake it. You don't have to fry it. And they're great. They're great.
I've never seen it. I always thought it was like pancake batter that was just deep fried or something.
That's 100% what a real corn dog is. Yeah, and those
Okay.
are the good ones. But I wanted to try it. It was amazing.
Let's see, Erica says, "What's the name of the heart thing? Sounds like I may have, but doctor says it's not the T word, tachycardia."
Tachycardia, but hasn't given a name to it yet. Just curious. Erica, I don't remember the name. Like I said, I'm not kidding. It was like 26 letters long. Um, I don't know what your symptoms are. My heart rate gets extremely high, extremely quick. My resting heart rate is always very high. And it doesn't fluctuate very much. It just stays there compared to the normal or average person is kind of where it is. So the resolution I got at the time was just try to be healthy, no caffeine, anything like that, or just do what you want to do, live the life you live, and take this pill once a day, every day for the rest of your life to monitor
What's that pill? Just kidding. When I was doing the interview this week with Dr. C, at the end of the interview, as soon as I shut it off,
Uh-huh.
my watch buzzed, and I thought somebody had texted me about the interview. And I looked down, it says your heart rate has been over 110 for the last 10 minutes, and it doesn't appear that you're exercising. I'm like, yep, it's all good. It's just normal. That's what happens.
Yeah. Parrot Court says, "What watch is it all one word?" Yes, it was one word. It was just an extremely long word.
We're now we're now playing a new game that we hadn't planned on. It's guess the obscure medical term that I'm thinking of.
That what I watch is.
Put your guesses in chat, and we'll Google them and see if they were right.
Right. I really need to get my records and go back and see. Someone says Kenny Peterson says how long ago? This was about 8 years ago, I think, when I was diagnosed or I found it out from the doctor. So, and then yes, I've heard this, Dodie. I don't, but I have been told I need to. I don't do a lot of healthier things that I should do, um, unfortunately. So corn dogs are
Cornmeal
made
batter.
with cornmeal batter, not pancake. That kind of makes sense. Corn dog. Nurse Angel says, I've been diagnosed.
Oh, wow.
Uh,
Supraventricular tachycardia.
so that wasn't it either. But now I'm thinking I'm wrong because there's so many other people saying the same thing. Scott, you want to give this one a shot?
Supercalifragilistic? Is that something like that?
Now they're starting
Good
to pile
guesses.
it. Yeah.
Good
No.
guesses.
So, anyways, enough about me. There's a lot of different medicines for it and things you could take, as there are for other issues people have. I had a friend, his son, terrible car wreck, and his neck and his back broke and everything, and he did the whole pain pill route and it didn't work, and so he went the medicinal marijuana route. For him, it worked, solved everything else. Then you have others that choose the marijuana route recreationally. They might just like
Yeah.
it to have fun, or they might like to deal it and sell it to make some income.
The downside of that is if the police get involved, they take it away from you.
Then you get in trouble
Mhm.
and they take it away. And so, Scott, what would you do if you got, besides your speeding ticket,
Mhm.
but you get stopped, got some marijuana, it's illegal, they take it away, you go home, you're pouting. What would you do?
Okay, before I tell you what I would do, let me just tell you I had a conversation telling a story to my son today
Oh,
about a time where someone was trying to quit using marijuana, and I was helping them.
uh-huh.
And through the conversation, I ended up in possession of a large bag of marijuana that they wanted me to take away so that they could quit, because if they kept it around, they'd smoke it. And so here I am with a lot of marijuana, and I'm riding my bike carrying this bag of marijuana, this bag of weed, and I can't just like throw it in the garbage somewhere. I'm like, someone's going to find this and be like, yay, money, mother load. And so I've got the bag open. I'm like sprinkling green
Oh, were you really?
everywhere I'm going. And it's just all over. And so I've got like crushed leaves and bits of stem, because it was a nasty mix. I think there were some seeds in there as well. But they're like, it's like all over me because as you're blowing, the wind's going and stuff. And I like the whole bag, I dispersed into the wind, as I'm writing, as I'm writing to get rid of this. But I'm covered in it myself. So what would I do if the police took my weed, assuming I was one who used, right?
Yep.
And well, first of all, I would be a little bit jaded. I don't know. Would you buy more?
Most people would, right? Or would you just think it's, you know what? I miss my weed. Maybe my dealer's out. My buddy's out or he's being stingy. I'm just going to go break into the police station to get my weed that they took back. Because that's what
I know where some weed is.
I know where some weed is. It's where my weed is.
They just put it in my evidence locker. They're holding it for me.
In a Pennsylvania police station, I'm going to go get my weed back and I'm going to break right in.
What could possibly go wrong? What can possibly go wrong with this plan?
The best part is the guy, there was a length of time between this confiscation and what he did. So there was a warrant for something else. So he goes back to break in, get his weed back. Boom, thanks for showing up. Here's your silver bracelets. You've also got a warrant and you don't get your weed. Why would you? Okay, everyone knows and everyone will agree. This is one thing everyone on the channel can agree with. Most criminals are not smart. But some are extremely dumb because how do you think that's going to work?
Even if you're just looking at the odds in the situation, the one of you against literally an armed, opponent in a secure building with cameras and everything else, you just think you're gonna, Ethan Hunt it and rappel down from the ceiling, pick the lock, recover your weed, and disappear into the air vent. It's not going to happen.
How many doors do you think you have to go through to get to the evidence lockers? They don't just keep it like on the front counter in the lobby. You can run in and grab it and dash. So what do you?
I'm wondering if there's some video somewhere of this going down.
There has
the officers inside watching the security camera is like, do you want to get him now or should we wait until, should we let him get a little further past the front door? So he's picking the lock on the front door to get in the police station or something. It's like, how far should we let him go before we ruin his day?
100%. But not everyone is that dumb, and not everyone out there is mean. There are some sweet people out there, and it typically leans in a direction of the youths that don't know yet. So we've got a story about that.
We cut them some slack usually, right? First-time offender. And usually the offense from a first-time offender is not as serious as a hardened criminal. So you rarely get the grand theft auto as a first. This is my first brush with the law. This is me stealing a Corvette from the lot and taking on a joyride to downtown.
We did have the 10-year-olds a few weeks back, though. Remember, stole the parents' car, went up Florida highway like 400 miles before they got caught. But
so he was the outlier.
Yeah.
But normally it's usually you start small and then work your way further into crime. And it's actually one of the crimes you can commit, which is almost as stupid as breaking into the police station, is calling 911
with like a fictitious call,
with a fake call, or when there isn't an emergency. And they take that very seriously because for a couple reasons. First of all, it ties up the phone lines and an operator trying to determine if there actually is an emergency. It may even tie up some officers responding, because sometimes in some jurisdictions, the officers have to respond even if it's like a butt dial 911 situation.
Right.
So it's frowned upon. But we've got one kid who did just that.
Oh boy.
Let me make sure I get the location. Oh yes, it's Florida. It's in Florida. How did I know? Florida Sheriff's deputy dispatched to a home after responding to a disconnected call from the resident's 911 call, only to find an adorable reason for the alert. he learned the call came from a young boy who wanted to give him a hug. He wanted to hug a police officer. Calls 911. This is how the cops show up.
Oh man.
It's captured on doorbell footage. He responds, and the mom was really confused about the whole thing. Had no idea until the cops showed up that any of this had gone down. She's like,
Right.
"Well, those sirens are getting close. And here they are at my house."
Can I help you? What the heck's going on?
Yeah. So
Oh, that's awesome.
there's Ring doorbell footage of her basically, and body cam footage as well. So it's filmed from two sides, so you can see the
Oh,
police
love
officer
it.
coming up the door. What's wrong? You had a 911 hang up, and then the mom's face is like, "Why are you here?" and then looking back into the house, the little kid come out and giving him a hug.
That's awesome. We might have to get that footage and show it to one of your day streams if you've got some airtime and plug
Yeah.
that in. I think that's a good feel good story for people. That's fun. I saw I'm sure a lot of people have too. It's pretty old and it's been out there, but where an officer, it's on the doorbell camera. He's got a sack of like Chick-fil-A, rings the doorbell, and the lady answers, and he's like, "Hello, I know I'm not who you expected, but your DoorDash driver just got arrested, so I figured I'd complete your order." She's like, "Oh my gosh!" She's like,
He was a
"Have a good
block
day."
away, and we stopped him, but
Yeah, yeah,
realized it's not your fault. So we're gonna, if you leave a tip, that would go straight to his bail money.
yeah, right. Yeah, absolutely. It's a funny video, and it's really cool to see stuff like that happen. I love seeing positive interactions between law enforcement and community when it goes both ways. I think it's really cool. It's kind of all kind of a feel good moment, but that's neat. I love it. So we've got this is episode 38.
38.
38.
It's more than I can count on both my hands. I just did
That's
the math.
good. Otherwise, that'd be very weird. You'd be a heck of a typer, though.
I would. I could probably keep notes for court. I was thinking about having the cops called. I had somebody call the cops on me one time. You've heard of swatting, right?
I have, and that's so mean.
Yeah. So nowadays, believe it or not, it's a thing for people who live stream to inform their local police departments that they are live streaming, and the odds of this happening are higher. So you can basically have notes on your address at the police station. So when the call comes in, they're like, "Hey, just FYI, this is a live streamer. We can verify this, and it's most likely going to be a fake call." So that's pretty cool. But before I started live streaming at all, I had the cops show up at my house like middle of the night, and they knock on the door, and it's like a welfare check, and they're like, "Well, we had a complaint that you were using drugs and going to do some harm." And I'm like, "From who?" "Well, we can't tell you." I'm like, it's the middle of the night. I'm trying to sleep. "Well, can we just check?" I was like, "No,
Oh,
I'm fine." Okay.
yeah.
"Well, got this call came in. It was from California." I'm like, "I don't know anybody in California." Okay.
Right.
It's like, did they use my name? And they had my name. They had my address, and somebody in California had put in a welfare call to send the cops to my house.
So that's so crazy. I'm young. So swatting, it's similar to the story Scott just shared. It's people that will watch someone live streaming. They will, let's just pretend one of you in the audience right now have my name, my address, and information. They will call my local police department and claim I'm doing something wrong, something bad, not good, or just a welfare check. And it's happening. But a lot of times they say they're doing something really wrong or violent. So while this person said, "Me, I'm live streaming right now," the cops will bang and bang and bang on my door until they break in and they come
And then
because
on
they've been.
live on
So now
camera,
it's
you
on
see
live. So the
Thomas hauled
prankster,
off.
right? So the prankster sees me with the police and what's going on, and it became a big thing a couple of years ago. But like you said, the cops have caught on and now they kind of know what's going on. So I
And
wonder if they have resources, like you said, they take the notes, go, by the way, this is a streamer. If they have like someone in the office pull up their channel real fast, be like, yeah, he's live. Look, and he's just talking. Nope.
they're watching anyway. They're like, "Oh yeah, we know him." Yeah.
Yeah. Right.
No, it's just from, without going into too much detail about a previous job, from on the law enforcement side, the tools to track down people that do this are
Mhm.
unbelievable.
Really?
And you think you can hide, you're in wide out in the open. That their ability to track people down who did this is incredible.
I love it. That's good because
Big
it's
data is just amazing.
which is fantastic because they're low on resources as is. But then you start doing stuff like this, and it takes away from it. So it's wild. But see, Mrs. Ari in chat, love it. Oh, she said hi, thanks to 6 Volt. Scotty up away. Adam's wit never escapes him. I love it. So next week, Thanksgiving.
Yes.
So episode 39 is going to have to be.
I'm going to tell you.
We're going to bunny hop.
Episode 39. Tryptophan. That's all you need to know. Tryptophan.
Nap time from turkey.
We will be asleep from turkey overdose. Both of us.
Absolutely.
There will be no live stream on Thanksgiving.
We will be off since it's Thanksgiving Day, and that way everyone has time with their families, which is fantastic. And I know I'm a big early holiday celebrator, proponent. Christmas is going, but we just came off of Halloween and Thanksgiving. So what's Dracula's favorite holiday of the year?
I don't know what.
Thanksgiving. And that's the one I had for the night.
I can't even think of one. My brain is not back to a full health yet. There's no dad jokes in there.
Well, and I didn't during our pregame. I didn't say, "Hey, we're going to throw in a dad joke or two to sign off." I didn't give you fair warning. I just pulled one up. So,
hang on. I'm going to bring my little kid in here. 1 second.
Okay. I'll do one for chat then. So what will you serve at Thanksgiving dinner if you accidentally sit on the sweet potatoes? See how quick anyone can nail that. It's squash. That's all I've got. So I'm out on the, that's all I've got for the Thanksgiving dad jokes.
I'm literally waking up my youngest child right now. He hasn't tell me a dad joke.
He's got one in the
telling
bank
all week long, and I cannot remember right now. He's just gone to bed. I just yelled and woke him up.
Get out of bed. Oh, let's go.
Dad of the year right here.
Uh-oh. 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 Oh.
Mrs. R.A., do you know any good dad jokes?
Well, now that you woke up our son. Oh.
So it's a good thing the Airbnb is almost finished because I might be sleeping out there tonight.
Colder nights, you get out of the front yard, so that's good.
Okay. I have some help remembering it. Why does a chicken sound like it does? Because.
Okay.
That's it.
That's the one you couldn't remember.
I couldn't remember that one. I needed a reminder. I need a little prompt.
Sorry. Okay. What pop song do people play on Thanksgiving Day the most?
It's got to be a Christmas one. I don't know which one.
Because it's all about the bass.
Who sings? Is that Megan Trainor?
Yeah, all about the bass, but bass, not bass. So
I'm not over the fact that she struck me on a song with my dancing. So
future calls it like it is. Well, it's that time of night, folks. Cringe time.
and that's where we wrap up.
And there goes the viewership.
Let me see if I can get some music going. There we go.
Love it. Scott, you're a trooper. You were so sick. You fought through an interview yesterday, which you absolutely killed. It was a fantastic interview.
I nearly died. It was so bad.
No,
I apologize. I was texting Dr. Joe afterwards. I'm like, I am so sorry. And he could call it out. He could see the symptoms, as you can see right now, like profuse sweating, just like I'm clammy. I've got, my head's like feels like it's in a vice and everything. So it's very similar to how the interview ended there. That's how it is ending right now. So he responds and he's like, well, take some Tylenol, and he like gives me the whole remedy fix of this is what you need to do. And I realized that I am in a unique position now. I'm one of the few guys who've gone to see the gynecologist and got a prescription
For the flu.
Unsubscribe, and says Barrett Court. Yeah. So anyway, Dr. Joe was absolutely amazing. Just a great guy. Hopefully, we can do something again in the future with him. He's expressed interest down that road as well, and hopefully, when I'm healthy, it'll be a little bit better. So.
Well, you did fantastic. I know the viewers loved it. There were so many positive comments. You two had a great chemistry between you two. It didn't really seem like an interview. It's more of a discussion, which is always a more fun interview to be a part of and to watch. So, but you got some rest today. We all know you're not 100%, but you still said, let's do the podcast and jump on. So thanks for being such a trooper and wanting to do it. And
we're hoping tomorrow will be better. That's fingers crossed. It's Friday.
Awesome.
It's Friday. We'll get something sorted out. I would like to start a new trial on Monday, but it's trying to get the timing right. So,
right, kind of things that are out of your hands. But awesome. Again, everyone that tuned in to join and watch on a Thursday evening, you could have been anywhere else, but you're here with us through our Not Relevant podcast, our terrible cringy jokes at the end to finish it off. So thank you all for joining us. It means a lot, and hopefully we see everyone tomorrow.
Thank you, guys. Thomas, appreciate you. See you, man.
Yeah, absolutely.